She was only 19 years old. New Year's Eve was supposed to be the happiest night of her life. Instead, it became her last. What happened inside a residential building in Mumbai remains one of India's most disturbing murder cases. A story of friendship, love, jealousy, violence, and a 5-year search for justice. As the clock approached midnight on December 31st, 2020, people across Mumbai were celebrating the arrival of a new year. Among them was 19-year-old Jhanvi Kukreja, a cheerful young woman who had spent the evening celebrating her father's birthday with her family before leaving for a New Year's Eve party with friends. No one at home imagined that it would be the last time they would ever see her alive. The party was held on the terrace of Bhagwati Heights, a residential building in Khar, Mumbai. The atmosphere was festive. Friends laughed, music played, and everyone welcomed the new year together. But beneath the celebrations, investigators later alleged that tensions had begun to build. According to the prosecution, Jhanvi became upset after seeing her friend Shri Jagdankar getting physically close to another friend, Dia Padalkar. Police later claimed this led to an argument that escalated into a violent confrontation. These allegations formed part of the prosecution's case during the trial. As the night continued, the three friends reportedly moved away from the terrace and toward the building's staircase. What happened next would become the central mystery of the entire case. Hours later, Jhanvi was discovered lying in the staircase, covered in blood. Emergency services were called immediately, and she was rushed to the hospital. Despite every effort, doctors declared her dead. For her family, the nightmare had only just begun. When investigators examined the scene, they realized this was no ordinary accident. The post-mortem examination documented dozens of injuries across Jhanvi's body, including severe head trauma. Investigators believe the injuries suggested a prolonged and violent assault rather than a simple fall. Police quickly launched an investigation. The focus soon turned to the two friends who had been with Jhanvi that night, Shri Jagdankar and Dia Padalkar. Investigators collected CCTV footage from the building, forensic evidence from the staircase, witness statements, and electronic records in an attempt to reconstruct the final moments before Jhanvi's death. Unlike many murder cases, there were no direct eyewitnesses to the fatal assault. This meant prosecutors had to rely heavily on circumstantial evidence. Over the following months, police claimed that the sequence of CCTV footage, forensic findings, medical evidence, and the conduct of the accused formed a complete chain pointing toward guilt. Both friends were arrested, although each maintained innocence. The case quickly attracted national attention. People questioned how a New Year's celebration among friends could end in such brutality. Some believed jealousy had triggered the violence. Others argued investigators had failed to uncover the complete truth. As the trial progressed over several years, prosecutors presented medical reports, forensic evidence, CCTV footage, and testimony intended to establish what they believed had happened. The defense challenged the prosecution's interpretation, arguing that the evidence was insufficient to establish guilt beyond reasonable doubt. The trial became a battle over circumstantial evidence. Every injury, every movement captured on CCTV, every statement, every minute of that night was carefully examined in court. After nearly 5 years of legal proceedings, a Mumbai Sessions Court finally delivered its judgment in January 2026. The court convicted Shri Jagdankar of murder and sentenced him to life imprisonment. However, the court acquitted Dia Padalkar, concluding that the prosecution had not established her guilt beyond reasonable doubt and granting her the benefit of the doubt. In its detailed judgment, the court concluded that the evidence indicated a violent altercation between Jhanvi and Jagdankar, during which he assaulted her and pushed her on the staircase, causing fatal injuries. The judge also considered his conduct after the incident as an important circumstance supporting the prosecution's case. For Jhanvi's family, however, the verdict did not bring complete closure. Her mother later challenged Dia Padalkar's acquittal before the Bombay High Court, arguing that important circumstantial evidence had not been given sufficient weight and that justice remained incomplete. That appeal was reported as pending following the Sessions Court judgment. Even today, the Jhanvi Kukreja case remains one of Mumbai's most talked about criminal cases. It is remembered not only because of the shocking violence, but because it highlighted how difficult it can be to prove guilt when there are no eyewitnesses. Investigators relied on science. The prosecution relied on circumstantial evidence. The defense challenged every link in that chain. Ultimately, the court concluded that the evidence was sufficient to convict one accused, but not the other. Behind the legal arguments and courtroom proceedings lies the story of a 19-year-old whose life ended on a night meant for celebration. For her family, New Year's Eve will never again represent hope or new beginnings. Instead, it marks the day they lost a daughter. And for millions who followed the case, it remains a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous moments are not among strangers, but among people we trust the most. If you found this case informative, subscribe for more real crime documentaries where we separate facts from speculation and examine the evidence behind some of the world's most talked about criminal investigations.